シルフィ、先日は添い遂げると言いましたが、ルーデウスと具体的にどうなりたいのですか？
ベッドは一緒で、ルディはたまに下品になるから、子供の数は何人がいいなんて聞いてくるかもしれない。そしたら僕も下品になって、ルディったら僕に何人
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
産ませたいのなんて聞き返して、ルディはくすりと笑って、たくさんかななんて言って僕の衣服を脱がせて、そしたら僕もくすって笑って、じゃあたくさんしてね。
This is cancer.
Freaky ass nigga.
What's good, anime enthusiasts? Welcome to yet another episode review for Mushoku Tensei. Now, all of you are amazing people. You have commented a lot, especially you, JKK, one of a kind, on the previous videos as you're going through our backlog and catching up to us now. Thank you all so much for the course correction and the clarifications. We do need it, and we've taken everything into consideration, and you know what? We're going to answer them now. And some of your ideas and explanations have, set in us, and we do agree. Some of them, a little bit of pushback because technically we're anime only, even though we read the light novel here and there in bits and places. But we'll talk more about that more along as we start, talking to you guys for this first little bit before we get into the episode review. Speaking of, JD, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, goats? We have finally entered the territory where Google knows that I watch the show enough to give me spoilers everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
My Twitter, my Blue Sky, and my Facebook are all locked down now. I'm never looking at them again.
Yeah, every time I open up Google Chrome or Microsoft, no, it's on Microsoft Edge, that it shows all of those, reporters and things. Like, I see video games, I see upcoming articles that all of those reporters do, and then I see this one thing that says how Crunchyroll's most controversial anime is back. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Just a straight setup, man.
I can't think that Mushoku Tensei is controversial. The only controversial thing is the maturity of it. That's it. Unless there's a lot of you that just talks so much stuff and talk it up so much in this day and age, what's going on. But, that's neither here nor there. Anyways, for those of you actually wondering, season 3, it's already out. I can't really think of any spoilers that I know of. I'll mostly likely forget them. I mean, the only spoiler I know is that, hey, there's Eris. That's it. That's pretty much it that I know, that Eris exists. And outside of the promotional that Crunchyroll shows. But if me and JD go through these episodes as we've done, 3 episodes at a time, maybe 4 sometimes, we will catch up to everyone by, I want to say, episode 9 or 10 of season 3. And by that point, we'll be a couple of episodes away from the end of the first core. And that way, when the second core comes, we'll all be on the same page and we'll be ready to go, firing on all cylinders.
No, that'll be so awesome, dude. We can make it like a full-on book club, right? Watch live. That stuff is awesome, dude.
Indeed. And hey, for all of you watching through our backlog, you got to see the journey of our highs in season 1, then our lows in season 2. We're going back.
Bro, they're gonna get us soaring, bro. You gotta chill.
It's okay. Everyone has a different opinion, Speaking of, y'all, you know what? Let's start with a positive, then negative, then positive. A compliment sandwich from Mushoku Tensei. So the first positive thing that a couple of you have pointed out, if we treat this as a slice of life anime rather than something that has an adventure tag to it, or mainly adventure and action, then everything starts to take on a much better and more clear viewpoint. Now it's so much as we have a big giant goal. Like there's no big bad evil. There wasn't even one mentioned in season 1, and now season 2 we don't really have a big bad evil guy. Like most isekai have like this big entity that you have to defeat in order to go back home or save the whole entire world. We are just existing in this world. We have a second chance at life for us to go through and do things we weren't able to do, or do the things that we want to do with this second life and try to redeem ourselves. That was like the core idea in season 1. And that core idea still exists. And I think it's more exemplified in season 2 when we go into the school era. And while I thought about it a little bit more, and in one of the episodes where it really came to, and especially one now in episode 10, is that Rudeus is going back to school, and he's kind of like in this comfortable setting, and he has really already gone through like the motions of school and like the different cliques and different personalities. And this is like his wheelhouse. He knows, like, if we think about the Beast Girls as being the delinquents, well, now he's not so much, weak, and he'll be told off by the delinquents and they'll be put up on the fence and then ridiculed. He has now power over them. And now his second chance is, I can defeat these delinquents. And now they follow me. And now they respect me. And I'm not going to be the one to do the same to them. I have a better outlook and more mature look on life. They follow me, but I still give them respect of being my classmates. If we think about Cliff as the honor roll A student that despises people that think they're good or think they're better, while Rudeus doesn't have like a bad relationship with Cliff, Cliff now respects Rudeus as a guy that has knowledge, and he knows Eris, he knows Elenise. Rudeus introduced him to Elenise, and in episode 10 has a lot of things about the school to where all of these characters that he's been with now in the beginning have now that respect with them, the rapport, the friendship. Now it's blossoming up a little bit more, and now they are able to do things that Rudeus isn't able to do. And especially with Cliff, giving Cliff an idea for Elenise. We'll get more into that later. But there's a lot of things going on within that wheelhouse that really helps center Rudeus, even though he doesn't say that he's reminiscing of the school area. Like there's some like things that he knows, like the school lunches, and in episode, I believe 9, when he learns of Silent Seven Star and what they've done to the school and how the school resembles most of the things that he's seen in the old world. It's cool from him. It's good. I like this sort of look on the slice of life as of this whole entire anime.
Yeah, it's definitely a super important mental reframing that I had to do personally, right? Like, I wouldn't have even thought about Rudeus' old life and their whole disposition towards school when looking at this, right? But now that it's reframed in that way, you sort of have to like have more fun with it almost, right? Because after season 1 and the OVA at the end of season 1, I was expecting more of like a political thriller kind of deal coming out of this academy arc. Knowing that's not necessarily going to be the focus, and that the focus is going to be more on just living and like having fun living, really changed my perspective on the first couple episodes. Where am I looking right now? It's a cool start. I'll say that for sure.
Indeed. There is... I'll probably guess that the light novel has a lot more inner monologues for Rudeus, and that he makes these connections. The anime version doesn't really make those concrete connections. Like there's just some vague sentences here and there. They don't really go anywhere. So it's kind of up for the audience viewer, if you're anime only, to kind of put it together, if it is all possible to put it together. Not a bad thing. No, it is sort of bad. Okay, so the battle aura comments that y'all been putting. I like it. I understand. I remember reading about it in like the earlier chapters. I can't remember when. Something about battle aura. That's cool and all. Unfortunately, if you are anime only and somebody comes up to you and saying, hey, the reason why this happens and the reason why this happens is because of battle aura, I'm still lost on it, because never once in the anime, in season 1 and season 2, has the concept of battle aura ever existed or has been vaguely spoken about or hinted at. Now, of course, coding yourself a battle aura like mana or magic, and it increases your defenses and strength. It's the reason why Rudeus can't go above intermediate in his swordsmanship. I can understand that when reading the light novel and you guys explaining it. But unfortunately, anime, the only thing I can attribute it to is like, well, Rudeus now needs to learn from a master who has already mastered these things, and they'll teach him. Case in point, Sword King Ghislaine and teaching Eris, or Ruijerd teaching Eris, and how Eris is able to get these. And you guys have probably said that Eris can do this battle aura subconsciously, and that's why she's better. Kind of makes sense, but and both Ruijerd, Ghislaine, Paul, and in some respects Gallus, because he's a saint class in one style, all of them are able to do it consciously. That's fine. Again, it's just never explained how Dragon God Orts is able to take that Earth Spike blow by Rudeus, and how Body Gotti is still alive after the giant one. All I can really think about in those two instances is saying, oh, their defense, constitution, endurance, whatever, like protection stat is like through the roof, and Rudeus just isn't powerful enough to like break that. That's all I can think and know of. Battle aura doesn't exist to me at this current point in time.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy reading some of the takes, specifically from the light novel viewers, because they just know where things are going. The anime doesn't quite give us that substance to like tell what the existence of Body Gotti in the school might be, or why he's suddenly a student. That part also isn't clarified in the next 3 episodes, but I think on some level we just sort of gotta like trust the process here, is mostly what I'm hearing. I don't particularly mind that, and what's it called? Mushoku Tensei is the anime that does always deliver on something it's talking about, whether it be in the short term or the long term. But I feel like us being able to have that sort of where is this going question is just a part of that process, you know what I mean?
Yeah. To I guess put it more to it. I guess the positive is, because Tensei is setup. We give you these characters, we give these scenarios. They do mean something. Down the line, we will get there. And that has sort of led me to a pretty big hard call out if I really sit down and think about it. But before I will say about the setup, I am okay with it. I do have a problem, especially with the battle aura stuff, that if it doesn't come to us or is explained in a certain amount of time, it does feel, for lack of a better term, crap. Like, for instance, Elenice. You all say that she will be an important character soon. I will trust the process. The curse, I will also trust the process. I can see where the curse is going now. So the idea of it is that we know of Dragon God Orts. We know that he's cursed. We know about cursed children. Curses exist. We know that curses can be lifted through some like fairy tale, like old school thing, like with Ruijerd, how the curse of the Supres is going away in their hatred. He cut off his hair. and they're going through the motions of like trying to raise the reputation of the Superiors to make it better. That makes sense. And going through that, the curse is being like slowly waning away. If we take that very same concept to Ellen Nice, there must be some steps that Ellen Nice needs to take in order for her curse to go away, because that she needs to sleep with so many men every so often in order for it to not die. And one of you said that she can go for a long time. Unfortunately, I wish the anime gave us a time frame for that, but that, you know, exists. When she gets with Cliff to fall in love, my first thought now, with that being said, is if she's with Cliff, that must be one of the requirements for a curse to be lifted. She needs to find true love, like fairy tale princess kind of things. She finds true love, the curse may be lifted in some way or another, or Cliff might have to bear the brunt of the curse.
Bro, you're cooking in our comment reading section, bro. That's crazy.
That's a thing, you know. Now that we have this change of thought, this course correction, now we can like clearly think more about it, right? If that happens, sure. I mean, I have another thought about it in episode 10 when we get there. But currently now, with this time frame of everything being set up, here is my big call out, right? If I trust everything that has happened in season 1, and if I trust in y'all's comments of saying all of these characters that he's met in a university will have a big impact later, this will lead to a kingmaker situation where Rudeus is going to enter high society in some way or fashion. And he has a lot of backing support by some of the most powerful people in the world. You see where I'm falling, JD?
I'll let you hold that one. All
right, let's think about it for a moment, right? JD, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions.
All right, shoot.
Who is Rudeus's father?
All Noto's Grey Rat. I'm pretty sure it's Noto's. It could be the other one.
Who is the Grey Rat family?
They are high nobles of some sort.
Okay. We also know of, oh god, Palmon Grey Rat. Who has he been talking to the most in episode 0?
Princess Ariel.
What is Princess Ariel's deal?
She's trying to succeed over her brother.
Okay. Let's pull back for a second. Remember what Philip offered to Rudeus way back in season 1?
I don't actually.
Philip asked Rudeus if he wanted to have Eris.
Oh, right. And then they would stage a coup on their own family, using him as a figurehead.
And not only that, not only Philip liked Rudeus, Saros liked Rudeus. Hilda, Philip's wife, liked Rudeus. Eris herself, she likes Rudeus. And even she wanted to be with Rudeus. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes. I don't like it, but yes.
Okay, let me pose a few more questions to you. All right.
Let's go.
Where was Rudeus imprisoned in the forest?
No, I don't remember.
The Doldea tribe? Doldea. Oh, sorry.
Are you about to go to like Lillian Presena now? Okay.
So he's imprisoned by the Doldeas because of, you know, him and his sacred beast kind of thing. And not only he was set free and he saved them from the slave takers and whatnot, he knows Sword King Ghislaine, right?
Yeah.
He has already earned respect of the Doldea chief. Which is Doldea chief's like daughter in the school?
Linnea.
Okay. And who did Linnea lose to at the university?
My boy Rudeus Grey Rat.
So Rudeus is now at the top of the food chain, at least for the Doldea tribe. So now he is that close to Doldea chief. And not only that, he has respect from the daughter of the chief. I'm just saying that if there is a scenario to where Rudeus gets with Princess Ariel because not only did she say in episode 11 that she admired his devotion, and not only Rudeus wanted to keep Fitz's secret after he found out, there might be a ploy to where Rudeus will be helping Princess Ariel, but in order for him to actually help, he has to get a higher position. So maybe, just maybe, Rudeus will get into, I don't know, the head of the Notice family, or maybe somehow combine the Notice and the Boris family in some regards to be a piece or an important player within that whole entire place. Because not only is he part of the Grey Rat noble family, he also has Paul with him. He also knows Sword King Ghislaine as an ally. He knows Princess Ariel. Well, eventually we'll get to know Princess Ariel as an ally, which also means that he may become friendly with Palmon, part of his family, and Luke may have a help there as well. Not only that, he has the Dodia chief as an ally, along with his daughter. And if we were to say, I guess, if he does appear again, we have Rudyard somewhere out in the world, a more powerful ally as well. And not only that, we're not going to count Silent System Star, but we also have the Great Demon Emperor Kish Kish as an ally. We're also in good graces with Demon King Body Gotti. I'm just saying, we have powerful allies. We are going to be a king in some regards. Not only that, aren't we also friends with Zenoba, who is the third prince of Shiora?
My guy is slow cooking the season 3. Bro, everybody quote this for when we actually start reviewing season 3. We need to see how close Soren is.
I don't know. Turning point 3 is around the corner, man.
That it is.
So that is essentially my heart call out, is that that might be the giant payoff to knowing all these people and getting in with all these people. I could be wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. But, I was almost right when Richard died last season. So.
Oh my god.
Anything else that you got as far as just in the comments?
Okay. This is the thing that kills me. So my big thing in the early episodes was all about conflicts built off the back of a refusal to communicate, which is one of the most frustrating parts of any sort of romance, any plot just in general, right? And I specifically pointed this criticism to Sylphie directly. I know in the 3 episodes we're going to be reviewing today, those questions are answered, right? A little bit. However, I ran into all the spoilers in the comments where it was said that Fitz's identity was kept a secret the whole way through. My question then becomes, but my deepest desire would have been to see that play out exactly as written and have episode 0 be pushed to the very end of the season or something like that to make it all coalesce, right? I would have loved nothing more than to see Rudeus fall in love with a man and then realize that it was their best friend from childhood. That would have been the most amazing thing for me in season 2. And knowing that that could have happened on screen makes me really sad. However, episode 11 is enough to make me feel okay about it. Dude, I can't imagine. You guys have to tell me how you felt when you read that for the first time. Fitz is Sylphie. That's incredible, dude. I would have loved to see that.
I actually like that. If episode 0 was put directly after episode 11, that'd be amazing. Because then
I need to know who ended. Was it Crunchyroll? Was this meant to be seen before the season started, or was it meant to be at the end?
No.
Please.
No, it's not like a true OVA to where it was put forward. It was actually part of the. It looks like it's part of the episode listings and part of the first core. So it had to be this way. Which I mean,
No, that's not. Kaguya.
And to restore the borders for the second core of season 3.
Oh no! Oh no!
Do better.
Like, please surprise us, please. We would love that so much.
That just depends on what's going on in season 3.
No, definitely. Like I said, I think the anime now, season 2, is very lighthearted, and it's very open about teasing us as viewers. And that made the viewing experience a little bit more annoying for me specifically, right? Like I said, with that romance subplot. You can't be cute with that all the time, because I know you can write like serious, heartwarming scenes from season 1, right? It's a real different vibe, and I can appreciate it, but I'm not sure if I can love it. That's my whole thing.
I get you. And I just go back to, if I remember correctly, one of you in the comments said that the author was mostly around like normal, happy stuff. So that's part of like the structure of the setting, and I guess the story in general, is that we're going through normal life. It just is what it is. There's gonna be a lot of boring things. There's gonna be a lot of happy moments. But when it gets really, really bad, when conflict happens, it's more emphasized because we are disrupting our natural flow of happiness with something crazy that happens. And then after that happens, hey, back to normal life. All smiles.
Maybe? I don't know. If you've ever there's this great bit from a writing YouTuber. He makes parodies, and his famous line is, "Oh, here's like your best friend. You should like get attached to it." And oh, I killed it. It's dead now. I feel sad. That was all I could think of when I read the comment the first time. I was just like, damn, they're really about to play in my face.
Gotcha. Well, you got anything else before we head into the episode review?
I definitely want to thank everybody who left a comment. Bro, I'm going to read out all your names right now since there's only 7 of you.
I was going to say, you must be lying.
So I'm going to say, Amu Sasaki 2299, thank you so much. Arky 4416, you're the best. And then thank you for the reframing there. And I want to say thank you for giving me belt about being so critical, but I'll meet you halfway. Chipotle is life 2325. Thank you so much. JKK, one of a kind. Soren already gave you your flowers. Here's some more, bro. Thank you. That's Sasaki again. Keep double commenting, by the way. That stuff is awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Gyuyen. Oh God. Gyunyendi 92. Thank you for the comment. And Talk 6906. Thank you for the comments, and let's get some easier names to say, guys.
Hey, it's okay. Hey, you're the one who wanted to read them out.
Man, spur them. I should have practiced, but no scripts here, bro.
It's okay. It's more work on me because now I gotta put them in some way or fashion that's visible, but also in the order that you just put them, because they're not in like a correct order anyway. But that's neither here nor there.
It's perfect. See, this is why I don't run the YouTube channel. That's too much work.
All right, y'all. With that out of the way, episode 9, The White Mask. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. These next 3 episodes, there's no reason to go through a play-by-play. Episode 9, we know what really, we all know what's going on. We meet Silent 7-Star, who is actually Nanahoshi. We go through a PTSD scene, and then it's now Nanahoshi, Rudeus, and Sylphie as they're in that room. But it's mostly Nanahoshi and Rudeus, both exchanging information, telling each other where they're from, and making a deal to work together at the end. That is pretty much the gist of it. However, in that whole entire scene where we stay in that one room, so much exposition happens. I told JD, this is literally a turning point in disguise.
No, it's like First of all, I want to say incredible placement for Nana Hoshi as like a character and as like a plot point at the same time, right? She was the last person I was expecting to see at this university, and for her to be here, researching summoning, right? It's just like really well placed in a way that I cannot do justice in complimenting.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Silent Seven Star was just some hack witch mage that just sits in a laboratory all day, and she's very funny and she has all these dolls and it's gonna be very comedic. Did not expect something this serious, and to allow Nanahoshi to have not only a center spotlight, but actually be connected to the whole entire thing, which I still have a little bit of questions about, but that is like the general idea. So kudos to not only the author, but the storyboarders to like put it together this way. So what are we talking about here? Well, Nanahoshi is the girl that the MC sees before he gets into that traffic accident. And Nanahoshi's goal is A, to go home, but also B, to find these two guys. These two guys being, I'm assuming that the guy she was talking to at the traffic accident. And the way that she got here was through teleportation, maybe, somehow. But it's not reincarnation. And now we learn this isekai is actually doing the two isekai tropes, to where you're either reincarnated or you're teleported. And those two forms have different conditions on the person that's coming in. Rudeus is going through life as normal, and he has magic. Nanahoshi is still in her, I guess, teenager, high school body, or like university body. I don't remember what age she is. But she doesn't have magic. She isn't like, her body isn't acclimated to the rules of the world. And especially after 5 years, her body hasn't aged a bit. And I guess the best, I feel a little bit vindicated, but also excited that my call out of Rudeus being something foreign to the world is actually actualized and explained by Nanahoshi, as they are actually foreign objects in the world. And as she explains, if they do anything too drastic to alter history, then the world will erase them. So that is very interesting in of itself, that the world is self-aware, or I'm probably thinking man god or some of the seven great powers, whoever knows of the existence of these four people that have been isekai'd by some different means. And when Nanahoshi came here, that is also the reason for the mana disaster. Whoever summoned Nanahoshi and the other two guys caused the big explosion, the mass teleportation, and it's quite weird. It's not that weird that Nanahoshi accepts the blame of it. Hey, I am the reason that it happened, and good on Sylphie / Fitz for crashing out on it, but that is where we are now. And of course, the deals made between both Nanahoshi and Rudeus is that Nanahoshi is researching magic circles and teleportation, but she doesn't have the mana in order to do them. So she gets Rudeus to inject mana into the circles, help her with her research, and in return, Nanahoshi will tell Rudeus the things that he wants to know. Looks like a good deal to me, and both of them are quite opposite in they're opposites in what they view of their old world. Nanahoshi wants to go back because she hates the world that she's in, because it's not only foreign to her, it feels, it was just disgusting and it doesn't feel right. And she has people that she loves and cares for that she wants to go back to in the old world. However, in Rudeus' side, because of what he's been through back in school and how he was isolated, ostracized, and lonely, he doesn't want to go back to that. He wants to stay here where he's already developed a very nice relationship with everyone that he's with, and how he's pretty much enjoying the world that he's in. So I liked the dynamic between the two. Episode 9, my favorite episode so far out of the second season.
It's definitely a really strong start. I particularly enjoy Nanohoshi's whole disposition towards being here. She says, I don't want to be in some lame person's fantasy manga or whatever, right? And she's just, whew. I love it when like an author or an animator can like give a self burn and be like, yeah, this character would not like what we're doing with her right now, but it's cool, right? What struck me was she was traveling around with Orsted this whole time, right? For like 5 years, she was just picked up by Orsted. And I wonder if Orsted was using that as a like, to keep her on a leash in some way so that she doesn't cause anything strange, right? I also question Nanahoshi as a reliable narrator. Like when she said, oh, if we mess with too much in this foreign world, we will be erased. Who told you that? How do you know that, right? There's a lot of things she's secretive about. And I feel like that could be another convenient thing that she keeps to herself, right? Because as she said, her inventions, her knowledge, most of that's going to stay internal and not be given to anyone else for that specific reason, right? That could be another thing that she just keeps to herself. Like, oh, is that true? Is that false?
The person that told her that she was summoned here, that is the person I am locked on. Because they know more. And the fact that she isn't allowed to name that person is concerning.
Only a slight pivot here. This whole sequence is spoken in a different language, right? So they're speaking Japanese, and then like when Rudeus wakes up, they're speaking that, I want to call it pseudo-text, but that's not what it is. That pseudo-language, right? Which is actually just their in-universe common, stuff like that, right? And that part doesn't necessarily like faze me too much. That is a cool thing that we probably forgot about, right? Since like episode 1. But I want to talk more about the framing here, because during this whole thing, Nanahoshi is just ecstatic to find another person who's A, Japanese, reads the language, and might be isekai'd, right? And we're put directly into the shoes of Sylphie, who's being treated sort of like she's not there, right? As Rudeus and Nanahoshi sort of like freak out, right? There's a lot of killer shots in here where Sylphie's like, guys, please, what are you saying? Please talk to me. And inevitably, she just goes off and sits in a chair until they start speaking in the same language again. I felt horrid for Sylphie. My God, my goat getting disrespected live? Not disrespected, but just straight up ignored during this pivotal moment. Brutal. And they would hide like Nanahoshi's face and Rudeus' face with their ears, right? It was just a beautiful frame. It's a good episode. It's a real good episode.
Sorry you weren't isekai Sylphie/Fitch. You're not important in this episode. You can stay over there in that corner.
Nah, not Soren too, bruh.
It's true. It's like two people reuniting and from a whole different world, and Sylphie is just looking at that different world and like, I can't be with them because I don't know what they're talking about. They are foreign objects in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you got to think, this is right after we see the intro, and Ariel becomes our audience vehicle to talk to Sylphie about the Rudeus thing. And says like, hey, you haven't even told him your name and who you really are yet? Why? Right? And you see Sylphie try to build up courage to the episode just to get displaced by Nanahoshi, her very existence, and her familiarity with Rudeus sort of being like another barrier that they feel like they have to overcome, right? It's brutal, man. Poor Sylphie. This is why you gotta shoot your shot, guys. You gotta go first, bro.
But yeah, I got nothing else on this episode. It's just big expositional, a dump that explains what happened in season 1, and now we have a new task / goal in season 2 for Rudeus is to help Nanahoshi, in which we get to discover more about this mass teleportation, in which then we, I guess, learning more about the world, and possibly we get to know who this person that Nanahoshi was talking about that told her that she was teleported here by some means. So that little seed is there. I'm paying attention. It will, hopefully it will blossom. I'm listening to you guys. I'm waiting. I'm joking.
Alright, I got 2 more things. First of all, man god. Worsted. There's a line specifically said by Nanahoshi right before the scene leading to the end credits, where Rude says, "Oh, I must be a godsend," and Nanahoshi goes, "Ha, you just might be." Brother, that's too forward for me. That's just a given, bruh. Oh, and Rudeus does sort of recognize that Man God told him that Orsted probably caused the mana disaster, the mass teleportation incident, right? And he's just like, okay, Man God told me this. It may not be true. Keep that in mind, because I want that to come up in the next meeting with Man God. If it doesn't, I'll be a little sad. But only a little.
I mean, we're fully trusting Man God at this point, so...
No. Not me, bro. Rudeus can do what he wants, but I don't trust anyone who walks around their realm naked.
It's the primal, like, realm, I guess, in some regards or something like that, you know? He has no rules to follow.
Nah, bro should make up some rules, like wearing pants.
God. But
final note for this episode, at the very end, when they're walking home, Sylphie and Rudeus, you can see Rudeus is walking at his own pace and Sylphie struggling to keep up with him, right? That's of course symbolic of their relationship, as Sylphie comes to terms with what Nanahoshi is to Rudeus. It's a small thing, but since the next 2 episodes are going to be like at least romance tangential, it's important to point out that Sylphie feels like she's losing the race here, right? Even though Rudeus is right next to her. Brutal.
indeed. Speaking of Sylphie and Fitz, those feelings, hopefully they come to light as per the title for episode 10. These feelings. Okay.
Brother, you're so corny.
For episode 10, we can slide through this one because there are like several beats that talk about other characters here, and we can go over those. So in the beginning, this is where Sylphie takes the spotlight a little bit more once more, is that she's having these inner monologue thoughts about herself, Rudeus, and Seven Star / Nanahoshi, who they've been hanging out more often. And because of that, she's noticed like, oh, they're close, they're off in their own world, they feel so close to each other. And unfortunately, Sylphie just feels too scared to step forward, and somehow, in some way, somewhere, her courage has disappeared, and she can't go for it. Back to Rudeus, it's almost been a year since he's been at the university, and they really go through his like daily routine, but it also gives us a light into what the other characters are interacting with Rudeus about. So in the morning, he trains. While he's training, Bodyguardi is over there, kind of, I guess, supervising or watching him train. And maybe he helps him out with training. Who really knows? But they just talk shop about women. And while Rudeus is walking in the halls, we notice that students are avoiding him and giving him a wide berth. And that's due to his duel with Bodyguardi. He probably has some fans, but it looks like he mostly has people like being afraid of him, or they don't want to deal with him because of his monstrous strength and magic. Speaking of Linear Persona, they say that Rudeus has minions, which I'm probably guessing are like the beast folk that respect him because of his strength. That's what I'm probably thinking. It might be something else, who really knows. But they also tell Rudeus that, hey, you need more confidence, and he can take over the school, Kingmaker reference. Then we have, in class, Cliff, he asks about Rudeus about curses. And Rudeus actually tells Cliff about the story of Lapis and how he transferred his curse to spears to give to the Supres, which gives Cliff an idea about transferring curses to objects, which then that makes me think, Cliff, a genius in his own right, is probably thinking of an idea of how to get Elenice's curse to be put into an object so that she can be free of her curse, or find some way to like deal with the curse. That's nice. I like that attention to detail. We'll see if that comes to light. At the dining hall when he eats, Julie, as a dwarf, drinks. That's it. And then with Nanahoshi and her experiments, when she draws magic circles, Rudeus injects mana into them to activate them. And when we see one experiment to where they summon a feather, and we also know now that Nanahoshi has also managed to invent a few original spells. And her goal is like to summon a person, or at least figure out the principles so that she can reverse engineer that process so that we can send somebody back, which will, allow her to go back to her world and possibly the two other guys who we still don't know anything about. After that, more bits on Julie as she's coming on with her lessons and she's sculpting figures. And then one cool thing, one day, Rudeus gets a letter from Soldat that he's in town, and they meet up and they start reconnecting as Rudeus called like old high school buddies. They talk shop for a bit, but Soldat has so many meetings he has to go to with his clan that he has to go away. But they do promise to like do it again one day. Elenice and some of the members of Stepladder are taking Cliff along to show him adventuring. And now, with those out of the way, we can now get back to Fitz and Sylphie. As Rudeus walks up Market Street, he sees Fitz along with Luke. But there's no princess. But as he goes to say hi, Fitz refuses to talk to him and slightly burns him. But Fitz is also awkward in the scenario. Luke steps in and opposes. They talk a little bit, but Rudeus has to no, leave, as he isn't able to talk to Fitz while they're working and protecting the princess. Internally, Rudeus feels bad about the encounter, and as he's thinking about it more and more and more, he wants to talk to somebody about his feelings. But unfortunately, everyone that he knows at school isn't really a good person to talk to. But he goes to the library and he finds Fitz. Hey, Fitz is talking. Fitz isn't burning him off. But he starts asking the question, hey, why didn't you talk to me? And Fitz keeps up the explanation. I can't talk while I'm guarding the princess. And even though you didn't see the princess was in a shop somewhere, and we aren't the only ones protecting the princess. And then Rudeus, in his mind, theorizes that, the princess must have used Fitz as a disguise. And after that, he feels better about it. He's like, Fitz still likes me. He doesn't hate me. And after that, Rudeus can't get Fitz off of his mind, especially the smile. And he feels that, I'm slowly falling in love with Fitz. And he says the line, I'm falling in love with a man. But is he a man? So he goes over to Genius, but unfortunately Genius can't give him an answer. So he ends up finding nothing. But afterwards he's like, what would I do if Fitz actually turned out to be a woman? Whoa, Rudeus, you get your chance. As Fitz taps Rudeus on the shoulder, Rudeus freaks out of the sudden appearance, and they do the typical comical fall on each other. But Rudeus gets a touch, gets a feel. Wait, Fitz is a woman. But unfortunately, Fitz just runs away saying, I am a man. But hey, Rudeus, you're awake downstairs. Man, y'all was right. Fitz might be the thing that'll help. Well, Fitz might be the person that'll help you with your ED. And the episode ends. Help?
Best line in that whole episode is, I'm falling in love with the man. Please, 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 please. I would have killed, bro. I want Fitz to... Oh my god. I fell in love with the man too. Let's be so for real. Who's not falling in love with this, bro? Wow, this makes me want so much to like go through Rudeus's eyes and just know that this wasn't Sylphie the whole time, guys. You don't understand.
I mean, I'm not
Okay,
gonna. I'm not gonna say anything. I will call out so many of you.
Okay.
There are a lot of simple
concrete
terms and
things.
things. I'm sorry. Continue.
Concrete things that aren't involved with me obsessing over Fritz. Let's start with Ariel possibly using Fritz as a disguise in public. That's actually like an incredible use of the silent Fritz character, right? Because even in the market, we see Fritz, quote unquote, staring over the jewelry and things like that, as though they were about to make the purchase with Luke. And you know, Luke and Ariel are actually super close to each other. Fritz is nowhere to be seen, or not Fritz, quote unquote. Ariel was nowhere to be seen in that moment, right? At the beginning of episode 9, Ariel says, "You can use Fritz, quote unquote, as you like," right? Which means that Fritz would become Sylphie's real character, right? Rather than just a disguise. The idea that Ariel might have been disguised as Fritz in the market actually made me think about the library scenes, both again, where could it possibly be that Ariel is the one who reveals that Fritz is a woman first? That's conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory.
Nah.
But it did come to me.
Nah. My brother.
Bro,
Imagine
it's
it-
genius.
Imagine if Ariel was the one that helped out Rudeus with both Lena and Priscilla when they were tied up in this room.
Oh hell no. It's only because Ariel said that, and Rudeus recognizes that, oh, Ariel might be disguising as Fritz in public. That made me think that in that moment. Everything before that, I am willing to believe that is Fritz, or Sylphie as Fritz, right? Instead of Ariel as Fritz, right?
Yeah, that's a good theory. I still think if it's not like blatantly obvious, like we also don't even know if the disguise is on the same level of exact copy of voice and mannerisms, kind of like that, where Ariel will sound exactly like Fit/Sylphie. And to give the disguise, don't really know, but it's a cool idea.
No, definitely. I think part of the thing that makes it like possible for me is the idea that this is just glamour, quote unquote, right? And being silent is like enforced because it would break the facade, right? Because the voice doesn't carry over like the fit and like the hair and all that jazz would, right?
There's not much in this episode for me. I'm not gonna lie. No, there is. As I was previously talking about in the beginning, on how if we turn this into sort of slice of life, and this all being like a university thing, creating a few things, the soul that meet up exactly like meeting up with high school buddies, as per Rudeus said, having that little rapport and him. It's really putting, and after episode 9, you really get to see the fact that, oh yeah, he is actually enjoying his new life. Why would he go back? He has his buddies, he has his friends, he has his family, he has, well, his soon to be relationships with Eris and Fit/Sylphie. Would you really go back to the world when you have all of this?
No, probably not.
Yeah, the only thing you have to worry about is like the 7 great powers and man god, and that's it. As long as you coast by, and if we believe what Nanahoshi says, don't do too much.
If even. I don't know. I don't trust Nanahoshi's warning. I do not.
Until proven, I will hold on to it because it makes my idea in the first season better. So I felt very vindicated. I was like, yes, yes. Now make Rudeus a king or the head of a family, and I'll feel even better, even more.
That's all I had for this one.
Yeah, cool. It's just more expositional things about other characters doing things. Everything is on the nose. Better relationships with other characters. That's really it. Yeah, doing my second/third look through. Did talk about the Soldat thing. Yeah. But hey, you loved Fitz so much, right, JD?
I do.
How do you send those feelings to Fitz? Because quite frankly, the titles for episode 10 and 11 go so well together. If you say these feelings to you.
Bro, I'm sending love letters, chocolates. I'm trying to stalk her to class. Low-key. All of the above, bro.
Hold on.
Nah, bro, we're getting freaky for real.
Hey, speaking of freaky, Sylphie was freaky in this episode. Jesus.
Definitely do.
Episode 11, to you. What is going on? Well, in the beginning, Rudeus meets Luke on the university grounds after, the incident with Sylphie figuring out that Fitz is not a man, Fitz is a woman. And they talk shop, and Rudeus says, yo, I'll keep Fitz a secret, and hey, yo, from me to you, I cut ties with the Boris and Notice family. And he runs off. But now, we get to see the other side. Ariel calling in Sylphie. He was like, hey, so I heard that Fitz just exclaimed that he was a man in the library. And Ariel just keeps questioning Sylphie on what she wants to do. And after all these 6 months of little progress, Ariel's like, I gotta say something. And she asks, yo, what do you want? What do you want to do? Just say it. And Sylphie's like, I want to be with Rudeus. And so, Ariel, Luke, and Sylphie, they just talk it out on how to hope or make Rudeus remember who Sylphie is. So that, I don't know, to get the disguise off of Fitz so that, oh, yeah, that's Sylphie, yeah. The idea that they settle on, the memory that they settle on is the bathtub scene way back in season 1 where Rudeus found out that Sylphie was a guy by just pantsing her in there. So, all right, cool. And then when Ariel asked Sylphie, hey, what would you like to do with Rudeus? Or like, how would you imagine you and Rudeus with? She gets so unhinged about wanting Rudeus's kids of like a scene where, hey, if we get together to be in a bed, it was like, hey, how many kids do you want? I was like, hey, Rudeus, I want you to put lots in me. Excuse me? Sylphie? Where did this come from?
Beautiful context.
Where did this come from? But they all buckle down with a plan. And Ariel says, yo, if during this plan you falter, I'm going to forbid you from being with Rudeus forever. So cool. What is the plan? Fitz pulls Rudeus to the side privately to ask for his assistance. And Fitz spins a tale on how they need a flower that only grows it's only grown deep in the forest of Hale to save faith for the princess, because Ariel and the noble got to talking about who has the better bodyguard or a better like bodyguard entourage. And like Ariel's like, yo, I only need a couple of guards to figure this out. And so she has tasked Fitz with finding this flower. And Rudeus like comes up with so many back routes to solve the problem. But Fitz is like, no. We need to do this alone, and we need to do this right by the books. No cheating. So they head out to the forest. Nothing really crazy happens outside of Sylphie having another unhinged moment of being like, oh, I'm buying Rudy with the money. No, you're not, girl. Calm down. More importantly, during anything, the part of the plan is that Sylphie manages to get a hold onto Rudeus' staff, and then she causes a storm to appear with a ring. Rudeus looks up and attempts to clear the clouds, but Sylphie, with the help of the staff that she has manages to stop Rudeus, like overpowering his magic or one with another. And Rudeus like, must be out of it. And during the downpour, they speed over to a cave. Rudeus in the cave is questioning, something weird going on here. Somebody cast that spell and I couldn't do anything about it. And Fitz is on edge, so they probably noticed that someone else is out here too. So when the fire gets started and he's dried off his clothes and he's half naked, Fitz refuses to take off their own clothes. And Rudeus is asked the questions, hey, you're gonna catch a cold. You're gonna get sick if you're having these clothes. And Fitz is like, yeah, so I need you to take these clothes off of me. While doing so, Rudeus kind of like reluctantly accepts after like going through so many different questions and like excuses. Rudeus starts to remember, the familiar feeling and remembering a scene like last time this happened. And once the glasses comes off, it's all small, it's all smiles, it's all happiness. They hug it out and the episode ends. People, what in the actual hell is this forced remembrance of the bathtub scene? We cannot be serious.
No, brother, we are deadly serious.
This
This is gravity, love or die type shit. We have this, and it is deserved by Sylphie for being ride or die this whole season.
I swear to you, this is not only a major plot point, this is also a major plot point that has been injected with so much fan service that it's actually disgusting. Not in a bad way. Not like in a bad way. It's just like, there's no reason to do that. Right? I mean, there are so many different ways that we can do this, right? It's like, what I did with you, Daddy. Sylphie could be like, hey, Rudeus, I'm going to ask you a series of questions about me that I have. I'm going to show you this wand. I'm going to show you some incantational magic. I'm going to show you some of the wind magic. I'm going to tell you some of the lessons that I know from this person that is known. I'm going to tell you about somebody that I do know from Bruna Village. Like, there's so many little hints that you just do in talking dialogue, making a pop quiz kind of thing, that we don't need to go through an undressing scene in order to get this, I'm just what I'm saying. Just take off the glasses and be like, hi, I'm Sylphie.
I will shoot you straight. Was this sequence necessary?
No.
Absolutely not. It was not necessary. Could this have all been solved by simple communications? Not even a pop quiz. Maybe just I'm from Buena Village.
Yes.
Yes, it definitely could have. Was this the best scene in the anime by part?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna break this down after I catch my breath. Because this actually is a very important scene for Sylphie, right?
It really is. As much as I'm joking about this, it is. The romance section of anime is not my forte. I mean, I will watch it sometimes if it's like really compelling. But other than that, I tend to avoid romance anime. But this is a romance sequence with a character that we've gone through for such a long time that we do enjoy, and they've been struggling this whole entire time. They've been having a battle with themselves in order to express their internal feelings of how they want to be with the person that they've been with since childhood, the person that saved them, the person that's taught them everything that they know, and the person that when they disappeared, you thought they were gone, but since now you know that they're back, you want to be with them. And the more that you're with them, the more these feelings develop. But you have a second identity that you need to keep up with, because now you're with an important person. So now you're living two lives, and you don't want to live that second life so much that you just burn off your original identity. So now you're having a balance of, do I just live as Fitz with Rudeus, or do I come out as Sylphie and deal with the repercussions that may or may not come with? And while you delay and delay and delay, you lose sight of possibly your original identity, but also the more you move away from your original identity, the more it's less remembered, because Rudeus and others around the world just may think, Sylphie truly perished at some point during the mass teleportation, and then you'll be forgotten forever.
Yes. Mostly. I think the actual reason for why Sylphie hides their identity is sort of implied in that one scene in episode 10 where Ariel says you can do with Fritz as you like, right? Which is like saying like, oh, you can reveal or unreveal if you want, right? There probably is like another reason why Fritz had to hold it back, but even in private, Sylphie at any point could have said like, hey, here we go. Here's my name. Do you remember me? Type stuff, right? I think the reason we go through this theater, I'm gonna call it theater. Yeah, charade, right? Is specifically to recontextualize the relationship between Sylphie and Rudeus, right? Sylphie can't bear the thought that they might be forgotten in some way, and thus don't want to face a possible rejection, so they hide, right? That's a very it's common. I would say it's common. We fear rejection on like a primal level, right? So to remind the person that they're interested in, Rudeus, of their most salient moment together, using these not contrivances, but this theater again, right? Recontextualizes that old memory where once, Rudeus violently gendered Sylphie, right? And stripped it bare for her, right? Without her like consent. But now it's like, okay, we're in the cave and I want you to do this, Rudeus. I have that much trust in you. And you can tell Rudeus the whole time he's like, okay, I won't mess with you. I'll just stand outside while you undress. I'll do whatever you need to so you can be safe, right? But Sylphie is willing to throw away that safety specifically for this moment with Rudeus to remind him, hey, I am this person, and also I am willing to be vulnerable with you, right? It's a W. And Sylphie deserves it. I don't know what's happening next episode, though.
Nah, we don't know. Sylphie has finally put her feelings forward, and you know what? Let's just say it. They're gonna have sex.
Wait, on God? You think?
What did Sylphie say?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think she was going to do it that. Okay. I will say that one sequence where she's like, man, I want to have 1 million kids. Caught me off guard because I thought this was the love agape, not love eros, but she's love eros too.
No, that's,
oh dear.
It's going to happen. I mean, hey, it'll be Sylphie's first time.
Will it though?
What you mean, will it?
I mean, Ariel's done some weird stuff.
That's a nice piece of headcanon you got there, bud.
No, you right. Good cut.
Nah, Ariel ain't that much of a freak. Nah, she ain't.
I know you remember it. Episode 0 taught me some things, yo.
She was teasing, alright? She maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of horny characters in this
I would
anime,
marry
man.
Fritz. I know that Ariel would marry Fritz, yeah.
I mean, Ariel is
By
two
the
for
way,
the price of one.
No, exactly.
I can call you Fitz. I can call you Sylphie. Be both. Let me stop. Shit.
Oh my gosh, bro. I also gotta give props to Ariel and Luke just for being as supportive as they are. I know they probably want Rudeus for some like political reason, right? Possibly. It's like alluded to, but not fully confirmed quite yet, right? But then being like, hey, Sylphie, you really gotta do this, bro. You can't be moping all the time. Let us help you. It's just W friend behavior.
Yeah, it cements the idea that both Princess Ariel is truly like Sylphie's like girl best friend, and Luke is like a guy best friend. Well, no, Luke's cool. Luke's cool.
Yeah, Luke is cool.
Rest in peace,
Maybe.
Derek.
Yeah, rest in peace, Derek. May you look down upon these three with great scorn.
Yeah, don't get bodied into the afterlife like you did this time. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much it for these 3 episodes. And of course, the beginning. Hope y'all enjoyed at the beginning, though, of how we address you guys. We might have another one. It depends if y'all talk a little bit more. But, you know, a little over an hour episode review is, I'm no stranger to that.
No, yeah. This has definitely been a good run. I can't wait to hear more about like these light novel details and like all the foreshadowing we're missing out on. It's gonna be another good ride up until season 3, and I'm glad all y'all can be here with us for it.
Exactly. Oh yeah, and we'll probably look at some light novel details. Yeah, well, like we'll like dig into the light novel a bit, I guess, on our own time once Turning Point 3 happens. That at that point, then I'll just look into the light novel, because then after that, just be like a few episodes left of season 2, and then we can see what details have been left out for the entirety of season 2. With that being said, y'all. Oh, I mean, we already said it, but I'll say it again. Comment down below. Let us know what you think about the episodes. Yada, yada, yada. All that good stuff. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the deal. Please tell us if you enjoy Fitz or Sylphie better. Don't.
Right, everybody type Fritz in the comments or I'm banning y'all.
Why did I say that, man? Sylphie's better. Forget Fitz. Forget that identity.
Oh, hell no. Yo, editor, strike this man.
That's... Whatever. With that being said, y'all, hope all of you have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
See y'all later.